Hi everyone, welcome to our webinar. Do you hear me correctly and see me? Just to make sure that the sound and everything is okay. So I wanted to give you first of all welcome to this e-commerce webinar that we have organized at Ebury in partnership with Allegro and also with Storfund. So most of you already know about us, but for those of you that don't know about Ebury, we are a financial solutions provider that help companies that engage in international trade, including, in this case, online merchants that are active in marketplaces. So what we see currently, because of the impact of the COVID-19, is that more and more of our clients, they are either moving from the traditional retail to online sales, and also the ones that are already online sellers, they have seen a great increase in their online sales because of the pandemic. So that's why we thought it would be a good occasion to also introduce you to more interesting opportunities. That's why we brought today Allegro, who is the leading marketplace in Poland. They have a history of over 20 years and they receive 18 million customers per month. And they're actually ranked among the top 10 marketplaces globally. Then we have also here today Storfund. So Storfund is one of the main marketplace receivable finance specialists in the world, and they have already successfully assisted many vendors to boost their e-commerce sales by significantly accelerating their cash cycle. So the program for today, we will first have Allegro to introduce us more about the marketplace and then the exciting opportunities that it offers. And then we will have Storefund, and then we will leave some time at the end after both presentations for some Q&As. So just some housekeeping on that regard. At the bottom of the screen, you can see a button that says Q&A. So for all of you that have any questions regarding Allegro, Storefund, or anything, you can just type it in the Q&A, and then after both presenters have finished the presentation, we will read through the questions in the Q&A and then ask the presenters to answer the questions. So we'll make sure that we leave enough time for the Q&A, and we would like to make this session as interactive as possible, and the main purpose is to help you. So please don't be shy, because you won't need to show yourself or anything. You just need to type whatever questions you have in the Q&A, and then we'll try to reply all of them after both presentations. So without delay, let's start with the first presentation that is given by Katarzyna Rosa. So Katarzyna, she's an experienced education and merchant development partner at Allegro, who has been running a lot of webinars and then creating a lot of educational content for all the merchants. So we're very happy to have her today to join us and also to walk us through Allegro. So I pass it to you, Katarzyna. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Isabel. All right. So today, what I would like to tell you about is a little bit about how Allegro fits into the Polish landscape, why we think that we've had the success that we have, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about the platform itself, show you how it looks like, and then walk you through the technicalities of it. So all the practical info that you should know if you are considering registering a business account. So let's start with a few numbers. When it comes to Poland, the population here is 38 million. 27.5 million are frequent internet users. And we at Allegro have had, like Isabel mentioned, 20 years of growth to basically tap into that market and know it well. So what did we achieve over those 20 years? So we are actually part of the top 10 biggest e-commerce websites in the world. And the cool thing about Allegro on that list is we are actually the only ones there operating solely from Europe, and to be more specific, Poland. So a few more numbers before we get to more technical info. So we get more than 18 million clients visiting Allegro every month, which translates into around 2.6 billion page views every month. Now, because of our 20 years of expertise and because we've been so present at the Polish market, 80% of Polish customers say that Allegro is their favorite shopping destination. And of all the people who shop on the platform, 90% of them are regular shoppers. So once they start shopping on Allegro, they see how comfortable it is, how easy it is, and the vast majority of them stays with us very frequently. Now, why does that happen? Yeah, okay, you guys have had 20 years, but what specific things make Allegro the biggest player on the Polish market and part of the top 10 biggest e-commerce websites? So here are a few building blocks that I believe are very important both for customers and for our sellers. So when it comes to customers, one of the most important things, of course, is that we can offer them the best prices and selections. Now, we do it in various ways. Obviously, the sheer number of sellers that we have on the platform helps. We also have programs that can lower your commission significantly if you as a seller can offer us products that we would like to see more on the platform. And of course, that is also why we opened Allegro up to international sellers, like yourselves, because we would like our customers to have the best selection possible. Another important thing is the Smart loyalty program. So very quickly, Smart is a program that rewards our most frequent buyers. What it does is it lets buyers purchase a plan either monthly or yearly. And once you have that plan, you can get free delivery for all the products that you buy from sellers who also are a part of this program. It's growing rapidly. It's very, very popular. So it's something to definitely look into if you want to join Allegro. Of course, we also offer instant payments and financing, and something that I think is very important, a money-back guarantee for purchases that we cover. We want everyone to be safe selling on Allegro, to feel safe, and to make sure that whatever happens, they always get their product or their money back. We also have local content. So what that means is the platform is in Polish. We also have a blog. We have a lot of presence in the Polish internet, let's call it. And it's all local content that people know and they really enjoy reading. When it comes to businesses, one of the most important things is there is no listing fee in the vast majority of our categories, and we only charge a success fee. Now I'll talk about the various fees you can find on Allegro in just a bit, but just to give you an idea, we have listing fees in real estate and classifieds about cars, heavy machinery, etc. So it's not categories that we see a lot of on the platform anyway. So in most cases, your only concern is the success fee. We also have a wide range of promotion tools. We'll talk about them too, but just to, again, give you a better idea of what I'm talking about, I have a separate 1-hour webinar on promotion tools only. And even with that hour, I don't really cover everything that I would like to. We're also a trusted brand to overcome cross-border barriers for buyers. We've been on the market for 20 years. We know what Polish people like. We know how they like to shop, why they shop on Allegro, and we know how to convince them to purchase goods from our international sellers. Now, let's get to something that I'm sure interests most of you. I want to quickly mention the 3 biggest categories that we have, tell you a little bit more about them. So the biggest one we have right now is actually home and garden, especially this year with everyone having a little bit more time to stay at home and to renovate. We've seen a big increase here, but even before, in the previous years, home and garden was our biggest category. So as you can see, when it comes to Allegro's recognition in Poland, this particular category has some room for growth. Now, it may not seem that exciting then, but what that means to me is that even with being the biggest category that we have on the platform, it still has so much potential for growth. So it's not everything that that category has to offer yet, which is very exciting, because if you sell products from the home and garden category, you can be sure that we'll innovate in that category even more to make sure that the brand recognition is even better in Poland. Now, the second category, to the surprise of no one, is electronics, pretty evenly split between computer and consoles, consumer electronics, and mobile devices. Here, Allegro is a clear leader when it comes to Polish online stores, and we intend to stay that way. And then again, I hope to the surprise of no one, fashion and shoes are the third biggest category that we have, with women's clothing leading the way. But I believe we've had a bigger increase in men's clothing and the purchases there over the last year. As you can see, on the Polish landscape, we have a few bigger competitors, but that is also why fashion is one of the main categories where we innovate. We add more features pretty much every month to make sure that we stay on top there. Now, I told you a little bit about the platform itself, about the categories, but I finally want to show you what the platform actually looks like and what you can do once you're actually registered as a seller on Allegro. So this is our main page. Looks very patriotic. This was taken around our Independence Day, so that is why it looks like that. Doesn't look like that most of the time, but I figured it would be a nice screenshot to include. Now, apart from the biggest sales campaigns and the biggest actions that we run on the landing page, the two most important things that I would like to mention here are what is highlighted on the slide. So the search bar at the top, and then the category tree on the left. As you can see, the category tree is pretty extensive, and it does grow still. But it is also pretty intuitive, so I wouldn't worry about choosing the right category for your product. Now, the reason that I highlighted two of those things is they are what our customers use when they want to search for something on Allegro. Now, the majority of them use the search bar alone. Then the second place is the category tree that you see on the left, and then around less than 1/3 of people use the combination of both of those things. So bearing that in mind, let's also talk about one more very important thing. So Allegro has an offer-based structure. Now, what does that mean? It is not product-based like Amazon, for example. So when I look for, in this case, for an iPhone 7 Plus, what I'll see is various offers from various sellers. And these are individual offers from those sellers that I see. So what that means is when someone searches for something, they're going to get thousands of results from different sellers. So it is very important to make sure that you know how our search engine works and how to prepare a good offer so you can stand out and you can be on that first page and the first few results and make sure that you get revenue. So let's start with the search engine. It looks at three main things whenever a user searches for something. Obviously, the offer title. If I want to look for a red dress, then the offers that have red dress in the title will be shown. Very self-explanatory. It also looks at the name of the category. So in this case, of course, it's going to be dresses. And then the third thing that I think is very, very important for you to know, and this is my #1 tip for new sellers on Allegro, is the search engine looks at parameters. So those parameters are attributes that you need to add to your product when you list it. There are some obligatory ones, and then there's some optional ones that you can add. My tip here would be to make sure that if you have the time and if you have the information, to fill out as many of those optional parameters as you can, because the search engine looks at those parameters. So if I have all the parameters filled out, I don't need to put all of those keywords in the title, for example, especially since we have a 50-character limit when it comes to titles, so we don't want really long ones. And the parameters really help with that. It can also mean the difference between someone actually finding your offer or not finding it, the parameters that you have filled out. So it is important to pay attention to that when creating new offers. Now, this is what a normal ordinary offer looks like. So the first thing you see is the title that I mentioned. Now, what you can also see looking at this page is that the title and the description and the parameters, everything is in Polish. So very important thing to note here, the content on Allegro and the offers that you create do need to be in Polish. Now I'll talk about what you can do if you don't have a translation team ready or if you don't have an agency that you work with in a bit, but what you need to remember is that yes, the content here needs to be Polish. So the first thing that people see are obviously the pictures of the offer that they clicked on, the title. They can go to the seller's page to see their reviews, to see if they send parcels on time, if people are happy with the quality of the products and the customer service, and so on. Then in most categories, you can also see reviews for the product itself. So if the offer is connected to a product with a manufacturer code, for example, then you'll be able to see the reviews for the product itself, not just for the seller. Then the next section that you can see are those parameters that I mentioned. So when I scroll down a little bit, the first thing I see is the dimensions of, in this case, this armchair, right? So as a buyer, I can already tell exactly what this armchair is and if it can, for example, fit in the space that I have in my living room. Then comes the space for your description. So the description, again, needs to be in Polish. And here we have different layouts available. So with a business account, you can add up to 16 pictures to each of your offers. You don't have to add them to the description as well, but you can. And you can combine pictures and text however you want. You can have one layout throughout the whole description. You can mix and match them. Anything that you think would get the customer's attention the most. And then, sorry, last but not least, we've got our tabs. So the tabs are visible underneath each offer, and they'll have information like the delivery pricing, and they'll have information about refunds, complaints, warranties, and they will have information about you, about the seller. Another tip that I can give you here is that make sure that you pay attention to those tabs. Most of the time you'll create one refund template, maybe two. It's always good to have correct and precise information in those templates to, first of all, build customer trust, and then also minimize the risk of having a customer who is not happy with their purchase and doesn't know what to do with it. Also about the seller, the tab is all the way down at the very bottom of all those tabs, but it does get read a lot by customers. So if you have the time and the resources, then I would suggest writing a short blurb about your company, about what you do, about your history, what you sell, just to, again, build that customer trust. Now, I said that Allegro has an offer structure, and what that means for you is that you need to understand how the search engine works, which I hope we know now, and it also means that you need to know how to create those offers well. If you're unsure if your offers are attractive enough, we've got a sales quality panel that can help you with it. Now, sales quality is not just a panel that helps you with your offers, but it also measures your overall quality as a seller on Allegro. Now, it's a very important panel, and I personally like it a lot because it doesn't just give you your score. It tells you exactly what the score is for in each of the metrics that we measure, and it gives you tips on how to improve. So if I see that my offers are not attractive enough, I can see a little tip that says maybe you should connect them to products more, and so on. What is also important that if you keep your sales quality high, you can impact your offer's position on the listing and in search results. So if you as a seller have a high quality, and your offers are high quality, we want to show them more to our customers. So paying attention to this panel if you are a new seller on Allegro is very important. The panel also determines whether you can qualify for our biggest campaigns like Black Week, Smart Week, or if you can become a super seller, which are the best sellers that we have on Allegro, who also have the most trust from our customers, and that of course translates into sales. And you can also get into the deal zone, which is where we have the best deals on Allegro. Now, since we're talking about the best deals, maybe we should talk about promoting on the platform. So I've already mentioned the deal zone. This is where we've got the best offers with the best discounts or the most popular offers on the platform. This is also where we host bigger campaigns, so like Black Week or winter sales. So that is one way you can promote your offers, but there's multiple different ones. One of my favorite options that we have is the store subscription. So we've got 3 plans, completely optional. This is not something that you need to buy in order to be a seller on Allegro, but it's an additional set of tools that helps you promote your offers, promote your store. So it can help you create a customized store on Allegro that looks good, that makes sure that you increase your customer retention and trust. And you get access to statistics, so you can check out the keywords that other sellers use. You can see exactly how your offers are doing, how your competitors' offers are doing, and so on. We also have feature, highlight, and bold. These are our 3 more basic promotion options that are very useful, very commonly used. And what they do is feature as the main one, puts your offer on the promoted offers list, which means that they're always going to be higher on the whole listing than the offers of the sellers who did not use that option. So you have a guarantee that you'll be higher than all the people who did not use that option. We also have highlight, which gives you this nice blue background that I highlighted for you here, and then bold, self-explanatory. The title of your offer is more visible. Then one other option that I wanted to highlight here are coins. This is, again, sort of a loyalty program where if a buyer purchases this offer, for example, they can receive 4 coins, which means that for the next purchase, they can get 4 zloty off. So these coins basically give you a discount for your next purchase. A really attractive thing for our buyers, we have now a separate filter for those coins, and they are becoming more and more popular. People really like to see that symbol next to their offers. Now, all the options that I mentioned before are sort of more specific to Allegro itself. So I wanted to tell you about one thing that I know is present on all platforms, and that is sponsored offers and sponsored campaigns. So what we have at Allegro is Allegro Ads, a full complex tool that helps you create a campaign for your offers. It can help you check statistics in real time and so on. And then Ads Express, which is a very simplified version where all you need to do is set your daily budget and enable ads and let our algorithm do the job for you. So the cool thing about our sponsored offers is you can get your offers sponsored not only on Allegro, but also on Google and Facebook, depending on what you would like to do. The ads are always visible in the best spots on the platform, and you can freely control where you want your ads to be shown. So we don't take that control from you. You can enable all those spots first yourself, and then you can disable some of them if you see that they're not performing well. Because again, you can check statistics in real time and edit those campaigns. And the most important thing I think is that our ads are pay-per-click. So you don't pay every time someone views your offer. We actually want you to only pay when someone is interested in the offer that you are trying to sell. Now, I promised you to talk more about fees. So the main fee that we have is the commission fee. That can differ depending on the category and on the subcategory that you're selling in, which is why I put this hyperlink here that takes you to our Appendix 4, which is where you'll find a whole list of all the fees, success fees and the rates that are on Allegro. We also have, because I know that that document can be a little bit tough, we also have a fee calculator. So you can also use that when you're on Allegro to make sure that you know before you sell an item how much you actually have to pay when it comes to commission. And like I mentioned, no listing fee in most categories. We only have the listing fee in the least popular ones. Let's just say that. Then, of course, you can pay a fee if you use any additional options. So if you decide to use feature, for example, then you can be charged for that. And then one last fee that doesn't happen a lot, but I do like to mention it, is the maintenance fee. So if you have an offer that hasn't had a purchase for over a year, then you can be charged a maintenance fee. Now, we do have an upcoming fee tab in my Allegro, so you can check what you'll be charged for in a few days. So if you see one of your offers will get a maintenance fee, you can, of course, delete the offer or change it, or edit it, whatever you would like. But there's obviously a way to check if you have any older offers without purchases. Just in case, I'm letting you know. When it comes to payouts, a very important thing for you to know, the currency of those payouts is Polish zloty. This is how our customers, this is what our customers pay with. So this is what you get payouts in. The payment operator is PayU. They're the biggest player in Poland. You don't need to register an account with them or anything like that. We create the wallet for you during the registration process. Now, from that wallet, you can get your money either to your company bank account or to a third-party payment platform account, for example, with Ebury. And then the payment frequency, regardless of the method that you choose, is the 1st and 14th day of each month. So this is where when the money goes from your wallet to your account. Now, a very important thing, fulfillment. So this is a question that we get a lot. Do you guys have your own delivery services? We do not have our own warehouse or logistics services for our sellers to use, but what we do have is our service provider network. So if you don't have anyone who, if you don't have a company that you work with in Poland and you would have problems with that, or maybe you don't have a translation agency what you would like to work with on to create offers in Polish, or if you need help with any aspect of your Allegro journey, then you can go to our service provider network and find a company that can help you with that aspect. Also, an important thing, there's a few ways for you to list offers. So you can, of course, use the form that we have on Allegro, but we also have an API. So if you have a developer team that can help you connect to our API, that is a good way to do it. You can use flat files. And the cool thing about that is if you list offers that are already products in our product base, then they will get a short title and description in Polish already. So if you would like to use flat files, that's also a good way to go, and you already have an offer in Polish. Also, you can, of course, use an integrator, or like I said, our offer listing form. There's a lot of ways for you to use. And then a very exciting thing, our welcome program for new business accounts. So the way it works is it gives you benefits for the first 90 days on Allegro. So the first thing is you can use the professional plan, the middle plan that we have, that is the Allegro subscription. And you can get that instead of 199 zloty, you can get it for 39.80, which comes down to less than 10 euro per month. And like I said, that can give you access to a lot of different options for your store and for your offers on Allegro. The most important thing that I think is really helpful for new sellers is a 100% discount of the sales commission. So for the first 3 months, you can feel very, very safe as you can on Allegro. You can try new things, you can experiment a little bit and find your perfect strategy to be on the platform, because you will not have to pay the sales commission. Also, you can get you always get a 50% discount of the commission on offers with the feature option. So like I said, the feature option is what puts your offers higher on the listing. And you can also get 200 free features. So you get promotion tools, you get a cheaper subscription plan, and 100% discount of the sales commission if you register a business account. Just to finish off, if you have any more questions about Allegro or you're a new seller and you would like to know a little bit more about an aspect, then I would recommend our Help Center page. It is now fully in English too, so you don't have to worry. You can find out a few things before you get started. And when you already are a seller on Allegro, please feel free to visit Allegro Academy. This is where we host our webinars, so you can sign up for more webinars. Most of them are run by me, so if you enjoyed this, then that's great. If not, then I'm very sorry. And then we also have courses for our sellers to make sure that they can increase their sales and they can excel on the platform. And that will be all from me today. Thank you very much. Let me just stop sharing my screen and give the floor to Kostas.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Katarzyna, for the super interesting presentation and then giving us so much details about Allegro. So just to add something, so because Allegro, you will need to be able to provide account to collect. So actually at Ebury, we'll be able to also provide you a collection account in Polish zloty, so you can receive directly Polish zloty and avoid the currency fluctuation, and we can help you exchange it into your desired currency. So we can just provide you easily like an account in PLN, so you can start selling easily on Allegro. So having said that, let me give the floor to Kostas, who is the head of business development at Storfund.
Many thanks, Isabel, for the brief introduction. And also many thanks to the Ebury team for organizing today's webinar. We're going to talk today about why daily cash flow, or why daily cash flow matters, or how daily cash flow can propel your growth on the leading e-commerce marketplaces like Allegro. Because after listening to the presentation of Katarzyna, I realized that Storfund is complementary, is a complementary service to the leading e-commerce marketplaces. Because right now, the big opportunity for sellers is the e-commerce marketplace, right? This is the big business opportunity. You have to list your products and grow. And what Storfund does is help you scale that success, right? Scale that opportunity. So I'm gonna briefly explain, and I'll try to make it as exciting as I can, what we actually do and how we do it. And then I'm gonna jump into a few case studies of existing clients of ours who have taken advantage of our service. So you sell today, you ship today, you get paid the next day. As we all know, marketplaces have various payment terms, right? So irrespective of the payment terms of Allegro, Cdiscount, or Amazon, you receive your balance, your net proceeds the next day. So how do we do that? The big word here is integration, right? We employ API-driven technology to read real-time your sales data, your financial events from each marketplace. So, things like obviously sales, reimbursements, marketplace charges, etc. And in the morning hours of the following day, after 24 hours of reading your sales data, we advance 80% of your sales into your bank account. Now we have that 20% buffer, that 20% reserve to account for unforeseen marketplace charges or abnormal product returns. When the marketplace settles on the 14th day, on the 10th day, on the 20th day, whenever depending on the payment terms of the marketplace, we release, if this is the right word, we basically forward the money to you. Now, we are about to launch a few new features, which is transforming Storfund as an all-in-one cash management platform for e-commerce sellers. So starting in September, our customers will be able to receive the daily payments of Storfunds into their wallet, into their Storfund wallet. It's a multi-currency wallet, and they can utilize our interface to pay their suppliers, pay their employees, transfer money internationally. And of course, all of this is powered by our partners at Ebury. So what do? We do next day payments, right? Allow me to put a spin on this, right? There is the treachery of the image so well painted by Magritte over 100 years ago. So this is not a pipe. So I would like to say it is not only next day payments. This is not the right way to frame what we do. What we actually do is next day savings, right? And what do we save? We save time. And as all seasoned entrepreneurs know, time is money, right? It's an old cliche. And if you have more time, what can you do? What can you do on a competitive leading e-commerce marketplace like Allegro? You can go further, right? You save time, you can go further, you can generate more sales and more profit. So specifics, let me try to be more specific, right? It's the good old-fashioned cash cycle that all entrepreneurs know. So over a set period of time, you can turn your money, X amount of times. So the cash cycle, it's all about how long does it take, how many days does it take to turn your cash, your initial capital, into cash again, plus your profit. But there are various stages. Obviously, you're going to order from the Far East or from Europe or America. The product will be manufactured or sourced or bought. It's going to ship into the warehouses. It can be a third-party logistics or the warehouse of the marketplace itself. Sold eventually, will become receivables, and it will take a few days until it returns back into your pocket plus your profit. Assuming that you have no inventory, everything is sold. So what does Storfund do? Storfund will transform your cartwheel, right? Your old-fashioned wheel into a Formula One wheel. That's how I like to phrase it. So over the same period of time, you will be able to turn your money faster. So you will turn this diagram, instead of 3, 5 times. And what does this mean? That means that at the end of that same period of time, you will end up generating more sales and more profit. And you will reach a higher level on competitive marketplaces like Allegro, right? You will start scaling your success faster. Can we back it up? Do we have cases where what I'm actually saying, it has actually worked? And of course we can. And I have chosen 4 different seller profiles who are, let's say, in different stages of their business development. So, the first case is it's a young seller. They do have experience. It's in the Amazon marketplace. They used to sell before, and they basically relaunched once they became the authorized distributor of specialized garments. It's a UK entity of specialized garments, and they're the authorized distributor in the UK as well as in Europe. So they approached us right in the midst of the pandemic. Amazon was not paying out the full balance, right? So they had a lot of excess cash sitting there, and they just didn't take advantage. And we literally free up their cash flow, and they managed to sustain the same growth trajectory over the next 3 months. Now, second example, it's a totally different profile. It's over a 20 million USD American reseller of electronics. They are a multi-channel venture, so they sell on Amazon, on eBay, on Walmart. They also have their own vibrant e-commerce site. And they approached us in 2019. We initially started with their Canadian Amazon marketplace, and eventually we also added the US marketplace. You know, our platform provides many degrees of freedom, a lot of flexibility to the seller. So they started, let's say, in December, and as you see, there's a big slump in January and February, and also December was not that great. And it's not only because of the post-holiday hangover, it's because they were suspended on Amazon. So once they were suspended, obviously they lost time. They were reinstated because they have all the right processes in place to tackle such events, but they lost their buy box. Their listings were very low in the search rankings, right? So what access to daily cash flow helped them do was to regain faster their normal monthly sales levels, right? Over the next 4, 5, 6 months. And of course, they're still happily with us. Third case, it comes from the Cdiscount marketplace. They have Anglo-French management, if I remember correctly. It's a UK entity. Before they joined our service, they were doing around 100K, 100,000 euros a month, right? And they did have a plan, right? Competent management, seasoned entrepreneurs. So once they joined our service, giving that daily cash flow predictability, having the opportunity to receive your net proceeds, right, a few hours after they actually materialize, help them grow 5 times over the next 6 months. Obviously, I do not believe they can sustain such a high growth rate, but they definitely reached at the next level in their e-commerce journey. Last but not least, I'd like to make a case for the lifetime value of our service. This is a seller that joined us right when we started, almost 2 years ago. A very small seller, right? 10,000 euros a month. Great team, very interesting product. They started selling handmade jewelry for men on Amazon, and and by having access to the daily cash flow, they managed to grow by adding new product categories, right? And also by expanding in other marketplaces. So they added initially do-it-yourself power tools, and I believe quite recently they added vitamins for pet products. And over the ensuing 15, 18, 19 months, they managed to become a 7-figure seller on Amazon, and they do have plans to expand to other marketplaces, of course, like Allegro. Now, how much? What's the cost? I mean, I shared a few success stories. I explained what we do. And I believe that's the wrong question here. And I would like to reframe it again, rephrase it. How much money are you willing to pay to increase your sales volumes on average by 40%? So how much money are you willing to pay to increase your gross merchandise value on leading e-commerce marketplaces like Allegro by 40%? I think that's the right question. And this is how a seller, I guess, that's how all experienced sellers do the math. So when it comes to pricing, we charge anything between 1% to 2%. And that really depends on your volume, right? So the bigger the seller, the lower the fee, right? And we apply that charge on the balance funded. So this is your net balance after all marketplace charges, product returns, and other fees are subtracted. So this is, I like to call that the net proceeds, right? That's what you're actually going to receive, your receivable. And if you, so the service is available in leading e-commerce marketplaces. It's a very easy process to join us and on board. I did not share our interface, but we can definitely do that arrange a private video call where either myself or the key account manager, Elena Iolios, can showcase our platform. So I was brief. I try to keep it simple. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Kostas, for your great introduction about Storfund. So let's go now into the Q&A section. So just a reminder for all of you, I imagine all of you like me, we have been very much engaged into the two presentations. So if you haven't got time yet to type your questions, just go to the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen and then type all your questions there. So meanwhile, I see there are already some questions coming in. So let's start first with the questions for Allegro. Katarzyna, so what criteria do you need to have in order to become a super seller?
Right, so the super seller is a great program, but it is very exclusive, as in the requirements to join it are pretty strict. Just to give you a more general idea, what you need to do is you need to have a really high sales quality. You need to have a star rating of at least 4.95, so that depends on the recommendations that you get from buyers. You need to have no warnings, no account blocks, and no more than, I believe, 20 or 0.02% of unsolved discussions with buyers. So these are our disputes. It is pretty strict and you need to re-qualify every 30 days. But once you do get in, you can really get a lot of benefits from that. If you would like, you can of course contact me after the webinar. I can send you the full list of requirements if you're interested.
Thank you. Then another one. So you mentioned about that Allegro doesn't provide their own fulfillment, but you have partners that could offer that service. So some of our overseas sellers, they're asking whether you could give a bit more color on like how these third-party warehouse partners would work.
Right. So unfortunately, I can't give you many details as they're not really affiliated with us. They're not part of Allegro. It's kind of hard for me to tell you exactly how they work, how the fees work, or how the contract looks exactly. What I can tell you is that we at Allegro are working on having more and more of those partners on our SPN. So that gives you more options. I believe there's a few companies already. So if you would like to know more details, it's probably best to just contact all of them through our SPN and see what they can offer you if it's something that could be useful to you.
Okay, so here goes then the next question. Regarding the welcome program that you mentioned for new sellers. So can they activate that program whenever they want?
Right, so the program actually gets added to your business account automatically. So after, I believe, 2-3 days after you register, the welcome program will be visible in the discount center tab that we have. And the way it works is it's valid for 90 days. So you can activate it anytime you want during those 90 days. But if I activate the program on the 40th day, I don't get 90 days from that point. I only get the 50 that are left, right? So it's probably best to activate that program once you get it and not wait too long, because again, like I mentioned, that 100% commission discount is pretty good for a start.
Okay, Okay, thanks a lot, Katarzyna. Let's go to some of the questions that we have for Storfund, for Kostas. So can the sellers pause and restart the Storfund service at any time?
Yes, this is feasible, and we have quite a few cases of sellers that require daily funding periodically. So we have crafted a service that will give that freedom to the sellers. We do require some lead time. So I would say a payment cycle. So in the case of Allegro, it's going to be like a 2-week, a 14-day heads up.
Okay, and then another question is regarding the incorporation of the seller. So it is important where is their place of incorporation in terms of receiving the services from Storfund.
All right, that's a good question. It depends on the marketplace. So, for example, in the case of, we offer the service also for Cdiscount, and there we accept pretty much all corporations. So from California all the way to Hong Kong and mainland China, we accept the sellers. In the case of Amazon, there might be some restrictions when it comes to jurisdictions. So yeah, it depends on the marketplace. That's the answer. So again, they can reach out to me personally and I can give a detailed answer depending on the marketplace in which they're interested.
Okay, okay. And thanks a lot, Kostas. Let's go
Thank
back to Allegro again, to Katarzyna, because we're having more questions meanwhile. So it seems like there are a few sellers very interested in joining Allegro, and they were asking if it's possible for you to give more details on what are the requirements to, if any, to like register with Allegro and open a shop, and yeah, basically how they can register.
Right, very good question. So we require a few documents that vary depending on the company type that you have. So for the most part, the most important things for you to know are that we need an ID of the company owners, and the documents that you send us should be translated either into English or Polish, and that translation needs to be recent. So it needs to be from the last 4 months. So this is something that I know a lot of our newly registered sellers, you know, kind of trip on. So the translations need to be new, and we also have a few articles that can tell you exactly what documents you need to send depending on your company type. But yeah, those are the general ones. So you need to send documents to us, and then you need to send a few documents for the payment provider, PayU, like I mentioned. They're for the most part very similar, but it's a form that you get during the registration process. So what I will maybe do is I will send the links to the articles where we explain exactly what you need to do to register to Isabel, and maybe she can send those links to you after the webinar.
Yeah, sounds good. I haven't mentioned it yet, but there were also a question about whether we can share the presentations for today. So after this webinar, we will circulate a thank you email to all the participants where we will include a recap of the presentations today. And also you will, sorry, I have a bit of noise in the background. This is the nuance of working from home. So apart from the presentations, you will also be able to access to the recording today, so you can share as well with your team and other people that haven't been able to join. So, and we will also like include the contacts. So for, you can directly contact your Ebury relationship manager, and we will help you to like register and access the services of Allegro and Storfund. So there's another question, Kostas, coming your way, since you mentioned a few marketplaces you guys were present. So they were asking whether you're looking to expand your services to other marketplaces, apart from like Allegro and then the others that you mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely. That's we are in let's say deep talks with various Europe-based marketplaces at this stage in France, Italy, and beyond. So so yeah, but I cannot disclose more information right now. But yeah, we will definitely expand the service. Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. So I think these are like all the questions that we've got so far. So it's good. We're gonna be able to like actually finish on time. Just to like recap. So I hope this presentation were useful to all of you. So for Allegro, definitely take opportunity of this exciting welcome offer that they have, so that you can start really like selling in Allegro pretty much risk-free, because you won't have to tie in your cash. If you're eligible to access the services from Storfund, you'll be able to get your funds from day one. So you actually be quite a small investment for you to try and then expand yourselves in one of the leading marketplaces around Europe and around the globe. We already have a few of our clients that are selling in Allegro, and they are experiencing quite high growth sales, especially right now, which, as we mentioned, the retail sales are dropping because of the current situation, but we've seen the online sales growing. And actually, we could see that by the case examples that Costas was giving from their clients. Like all the sales growth was growing exponentially, even during the months of these months of pandemic. So really, this is the best opportunity for you, especially looking at all the events that we have in Q4, Black Friday, Christmas, and all that. So really like high season and best opportunity to join. So for any other like further questions and follow up, we'll send a thank you email, and then you'll be able to have the contacts from all of us. So you can ask us any other questions that you might have in private. And lastly, but not least, thanks a lot, both of you, Katarzyna and Costas, for the very interesting presentations, and then introduce us to these exciting business opportunities. Thanks a lot, all.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you. Ciao.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.